How do you bridge two seemingly different worlds? This is a question that I asked Lori Harder when she did a Q&A at a female founder virtual meetup. And let me tell you a bit about my situation that you may relate to, and then we'll dive into her response. So, two projects, they are right behind me. There's Confident Introvert, my first book, and it's a business, networking, self-help kind of book with a lot of strategies and tactical tips, templates that you can use in your own business communications with making new connections for your career. And every now and then there are personal stories sprinkled in. And there are moments when I get a little bit vulnerable, but nothing too crazy, nothing that would ruffle too many feathers. Even though it's called Confident Introvert, the teachings can really apply to any personality type that wants to be more connected in their careers. There are studies, there are anecdotes, and there's an element of mystery woven throughout where maybe I allude to some personal development things, but I don't go into the dark stuff. Now we go over to Not That Sweet, my memoir. How this contrasts is it's deeply personal. There are words that are not safe for work in the book. And when I initially wrote the book, I did not think that anyone was going to see it. It was not written for other people's consumption initially. Not That Sweet is pure storytelling. There are lessons that can be taken from the book, but they're not clearly laid out in a one, two, three step format. Rather, through the art of story and the main character leading by example, you can read key lines and think, oh, and if I'm in a situation like that, I may want to say something similar to that, right? I was wondering how to tie these two things together. And I was able to logically come up with, well, Not That Sweet is pretty much the origin story to Confident Introvert. How does someone get to a place where they're really socially confident and able to connect with most people in most settings after not being able to? So Not That Sweet goes into, why were those issues even there in the first place? The social issues, the things that we oftentimes don't want to talk about. And I know for so many years, I did not only not want to talk about it, I felt like I physically could not. There was so much shame about some of these things that I had experienced. And back to Lori Harder, asking her, how do I bridge these two worlds? And she says that you learn by doing. It's not about having a clear roadmap of you start in this place and then you end in this place. And here's the one, two, three step to get to that area. Right? Just like it's not like a confident introvert journey in the sense that there's a roadmap laid out for you, but rather it's a little bit more like the Not That Sweet journey where you learn by doing. And she said, just talk about it. Just start talking about it. And as you begin to freely talk about this new project, you will begin to connect the dots, looking in reverse. And I thought that was so profound because how often do we steer away from a potential pivot because we're so concerned about it making sense to other people? When you could even take a look at the branding, super different. This one's kind of cartoony, a little bit Art Deco. There are dark, rich, royal colors. And this one has sort of handwriting and it's pink, it's blush. It's a little more realistic. The cover, if you get really close, you'll see it is a little bit divisive. Not for everybody. Even the title of Confident Introvert, a practical guide to connecting with others at networking events and beyond, versus Not That Sweet. Not That Sweet. It's like, what is that? What is that actually about? Whereas with the first, you pretty much know what you're getting into, and it paints the way to what you're going to learn in that book. Whereas I'm okay with this one being a little more abstract to someone before they actually take the time to open it. All right, so is there a project or something that you are bringing out into the world that seems different than what you previously have led with? Go ahead and let me know what that is. Or at the very least, go ahead and write it out for yourself. And as long as there's a clear vision for the future project and the past, as long as it is in alignment with what you believe to be your path and what you are meant to create and put out there, I believe that for you and me, it's going to make sense. Wishing you a wonderfully connected day. Until next time.